nice. Scooting.
Wait, how did you do that?
Almost made it stall. Let's make it really mad. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're rolling coal. Hey, at least it's not blue coal.
It's black coal.
Black coal, we can fix that.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna show you what happened to this thing. And why it's bad, what happened to the other one. One last bolt and then we're gonna see what happened in here.
Okay. When do you believe this occurred?
Probably when it was turned all the way up last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there was 22 pounds of boost, yeah?
22 pounds of boost, yeah. I think it was supposed to be 20. But 22 works. Kind of sucks to hold this and take that off there with that wrench. I wish I had a stud right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it a little easier.
Taking out the bone.
Stir bones coming out of here. Episode 2. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't see any oil.
Uh-oh.
It actually looks good in there. I think I might have to start it without this bone.
See what's going on. This bone. It's where the bone used to be. One bone. Brandon is swapping some bones.
This has been a common theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, but, you know, all things considered, I think you get what you pay for. Not surprised, you know, once in a while something like this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So here's how I've been upping the boost. I just disconnect that line totally, and then when it hits a certain boost pressure, it pushes this open, which happens to be like 15 psi. So what I've been doing every time I want to turn it up is I've been changing this wastegate preload. So if I had the right tools, I could do this without wasting so much time. Considering I've done it so many times.
But you don't have the correct tool.
Of course I got the correct tool. I got a hammer. It's always the correct tool. So, see how it doesn't slide over there? Look at that. It's like an 1/8 inch of preload, it's called. Look at it on the end. Like that. See that? So this is 3 turns. So there's half a turn, 1 turn, half a turn, 2 turns, half a turn, 3 turns, and now it slides over, see?
Yeah.
So that's 16 psi, and then I had it up to 3 full turns, which turned it up to 21. So I can keep turning that thing up. You can see how tight that was.
Right.
And it just pushes, once the exhaust pressure in here gets enough force, it just pushes that open, even though there's nothing to open it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay, now we're gonna do this. Take off this housing and assess the carnage.
You can stop recording for a minute by pressing pause and then start it again.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
Make sure that I have this thing oriented right, so I need you to get this one so I know. So I have to put this housing on that one in the exact same orientation so everything lines up. It looks like this. Bolt is straight in line with that oil line. See that?
Mm-hmm.
But back up a little bit. There. Now. So this is offset a little to the front, and then these two are in a straight line. So when I put this thing in here,
Alright.
it's going to go in there like that, and then I got to rotate that
Oh my.
to match this.
You gotta match.
You got to do some clocking.
What do you mean?
That's what it's called. It's a 50, 55. It's a 50 millimeter compressor right there. So it's like 5 millimeters or 2 millimeters bigger than that. And the exhaust wheel's bigger. But this one, the reason I can't just put this whole thing in here is because that bolt broke off when I took it out of there.
Ooh.
It's kind of a good thing I did, because when I took the housing out, I found a crack in it. And the wheel was hitting on it. Like there's a shiny spot where this wheel was, you can actually see where it grinded. And it grinded into this housing right here. I don't know if it's because of the crack or what. So I can't use this housing, but this thing seems pretty good. It spins nice. You grab the shaft, it doesn't have much play. In and out has 0. But this one I just took out, hear that? I'm grabbing that, pulling it, like, you can probably see it better if I do that from this side.
Well, why does that play matter? Like, what's going on there?
It's the thrust bearings. Like, they're supposed to hold it from in and out play like this.
Yeah.
And what happens is, when it gets in and out play like this, that wheel inside will move and it'll grind against here. So, like, this thing I have taken apart, you can see it. If it's moving in and out, it'll grind into this part, and trash the wheel, trash the housing. Here's a little something concerning though. That thing has like a seal in it. And I tried to pull it out and it's like part of the turbo. I don't know what's happening there, but this thing's already hit one wheel. It's got who knows what puking out of the internals, so it might not last very long. But it's got to be better than this one, because this one's dumping smoke out. I mean, it actually looks pretty clean and it spins awesome, but it's puking oil into the exhaust. So hopefully I'm not in for any surprises and I can just take this thing out of here and put that in.
Right.
But I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Alright.
Removes the turbine housing for you. What's gonna happen here is this thing is gonna have some oil in it. I can smell it. It smells burnt. Alright, here we go. Are we ready? Is the news gonna be good or bad?
Hopefully good.
Hopefully the housing's good. That's all I care about right now. There's the oil compared to this one. Oh, and it smells awful.
Ew.
See that? But surprisingly, this wheel isn't hitting.
Yeah.
So, this housing is not cracked. Makes me wonder if this housing's different than that one. I don't know. I can't really tell. It looks the same. I mean, this is the one that I bought last year. See where it's cracked? Right there. This one smells like a dirty old lawnmower. But anyways, that works out well. None of the bolts broke. All it is a leaking turbine seal. It wasn't leaking any oil into the intake, so I just have to drop this thing in there and clock it right and reassemble. Try again. Hopefully this thing grinding on that housing didn't do any work on it. I guess maybe I should measure these. That was part of the whole idea, was to measure them. I mean, I already spoiled it. It hasn't was on there, but it doesn't hurt to check the dimensions since I know this thing's grinded into the housing. So that's a, can you see that? That is 2.96 on the small side. 2.56 on the big part. So about the same, 2.56. What did I say this one was? 2.15.
Go back in the video.
It is grinded. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's the wrong size. It grinded itself away. So this is not the best way to do this. These are not the right tools. That's 2.2 inches exactly. And this thing, it's about 2 or 3 thousandths smaller from being grinded up. What's surprising to me is that, I mean, clearly, if this thing was grinded, you would say, okay, this thing's moving. Now you can probably see it better.
Yeah.
It's moving up and down.
Right.
This one, solid as a rock.
Yeah.
Like I can't make it do that noise, which tells you that this wheel, this turbo doesn't have any weird play. Because when they get too bad, like if this thing I would have left it in there, this would have eventually grinded this wheel into that housing and messed the housing up.
Right.
Now, since this one grinded in and the bearings are good, and I could probably reuse it, I'm gonna reuse it. That tells you that this housing is why it grinded in there. But either way, if the wheel was a little too big, now it's not.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's been broken in. The world premiere. You know, it sounds exactly the same.
Say what?
It sounds exactly the same.
Weird.
That doesn't look the same.
Doesn't look. I need to get to an actual. I need to make an actual heat shield there. Instead, I just had some tape that kind of blocks the wires. So.
I think you're good, man.
I was a little nervous about this guy. Maybe a heat shield around the coil there, or I can remount it up top. But I haven't quite decided. And I need to figure out a permanent solution for that.
Have you heard the blow-off valve yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
It's like 2,000 RPM. You can get it to do it.
It makes some noise. It spools up fast. I don't see any smoke. Here, do that again. I want to see if I can hear the whistle. Well, tell me what we got going on here. I mean, what are the injectors?
Those are the 60-pound Siemens or 60 pound per hour Siemens Deca injectors.
Perfect. So that's probably good enough for like 20 psi of boost. So what about the fuel pump?
Fuel pump, it's the Walbro, genuine Walbro 255.
255?
Yep.
That'll also do 20 psi. What fuel?
You know, I think I might actually stick with 91. I might stick with pump gas. Because I don't think I'm not going to 20 pounds, man. I think 12, 13 is going to be more than enough.
I wouldn't do that on pump gas, but I think, what's the compression?
8.8 to 1, pretty low. Lower.
Well, at least for tuning, how much do you have in the tank?
About 3/4.
How old is it?
It's a little old.
Alright, so no boost. So we are at...
This is the base one that was on there.
12.5. I would shoot more towards like 11.5, especially on pump gas. Anything over, you know, say 5 psi. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna go back and we're gonna make this all 11.5, especially on the higher ones. So let's see.
Did you make the whole row equal to that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There you go. And then you can hit
11.5.
You're just changing one. So if you highlight the whole row.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a while since I've used Megasquirt. I know what I want to do, but I haven't done it.
So highlight the whole row.
Yep.
Equals. Hit that little equal
Equals.
button. And then it'll give you one. And
There you go.
Change all, the
all right.
cells.
So 11.5, I think, you know, is good to start. Just I'm gonna burn that. And then let's go into that timing. A few more pulls and see if that cleans it up. Now, where's the spark table? Ignition settings.
Ignition table.
There it is. All right, under the same menu. So 145 is where you're at. You're at 18 degrees timing, between 21 and 18. I might go down a little bit. I'm gonna probably pull like, I'm gonna go through all these. We'll leave it for now if you're running premium. But if you change to like regular, I'd probably pull like 5 degrees out of this table and go to like 12. I've looked at a stock Ford Lightning with a supercharger, and it runs like 9 degrees under boost.
Yeah.
So, and that's like on 10 pounds with a tune. I think it had more timing in it. This is not like a whole lot of timing, but when you richen it up, you should also pull a little timing. So maybe let's just do a minus from like.
You can also, if you highlight
here,
it,
minus,
and then just hit the down arrow.
Yeah, decrease the cells by 2 degrees. And then, yeah, that gives us more like 15. I'm probably going to include this dude in it too, and of course these two. So just minus, oh, it doesn't remember it though. Okay, -2, and then -2 here. Better safe than sorry, especially on this old gas. I don't hear it detonating at all though, it sounds really good, but start low and work your way the other direction. That pump is loud. All reflection, Tanner.
You're not getting, dude,
can't get a video of this.
Brightness is literally as low as you can get it.
Do it anyways. I want to see what the dwell does. This is 3.7. It's not doing anything. This gauge is just staying at 3.7. I don't know if that's true. Why isn't it changing? Give it that boost. So we started at like 3, I think. Milliseconds of dwell. Seems better. Maybe not.
Dude, I can't.
Race him.
Because I can't get into it, man.
Beat
it just
him.
Fucking misses.
I don't know. Maybe you can beat him. I raced a Tesla like that when it was misfiring. Got him still, but I had to turn it up on him. Oh, he would have done it too. Get him, Tanner. Go around him. Oh, yeah.
Dude, it doesn't really have... It just misses so... Dude.
Gaps, what did you say they were?
I thought they were 25 or 27.
Check it out.
What are they?
Here.
Not that.
So I checked it both ways. I checked it with this dude. And there's a 35. 35 passes through. 40 does not. And on the feeler gauges, I've got a 25, a 5, and a 3. So that's 33. And it's definitely pretty loose on all these. So
Okay, so it's not even close to gap down.
what we're going to do is only too big of a gap. What do you want to gap them at?
Let's go down to 25.
25? You don't want to go for 20?
We could do 22 in the middle.
I feel like we're bargaining.
22, let's do 22.
We're bargaining. The price is right.
The gap is right, Bob. Full engine.
I'm just going to do this by eye, Tanner. All right. I hope you're okay with that.
That's good, man. I trust you.
Just because,
As long as it runs, hopefully.
you know,
I'm
we're
still
just
worried
going to
about
eliminate this as a potential, hopefully, and maybe get a little more life out of these plugs at the same time.
Is this a spline socket? It's like it's been rounded, but
It's kind of a weird one, isn't it?
yeah.
All right, I think we're good. So hit them up with that wire wheel.
There we go.
All right, you're a little rich on the top. No, it's nice, man. No more misfiring at all. Totally cleared up. completely.
Oh yeah, it fucking runs like a top,
It's
dude.
great, man.
I'm pumped.
The air fuels though. But don't you like these 60s? Like I can't really even tell a difference in the way it runs.
It runs great, man.
It's really smooth. Like they run real well down at this 1% duty cycle range, 1.2%.
Do you want me to do second gear?
Hey, well, do whatever you want to do. I'm just watching. Yeah, you're getting real rich. So we should work on that for a second. See if this old trash wagon will blast it. Get him, dude. Don't let him get away. He's getting on it. In that can. Oh, wheel hop. Oh yeah. There you go. Well, Tanner, was it worth it?
Oh my god, it's fucking worth it, dude.
Yes.
Dude, this thing's, God, I love it.
It's always worth it.
Dude, it drives pretty nice. I know the acceleration wrench needs a lot of work, but if you're nice to it, it does drive very well.
I would say it's very smooth. I would call this one a success.
But yeah.